What's going on, YouTube? Defiancz here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I really do appreciate all the support you guys have given me. I really haven't uploaded any videos in probably the past couple of months, and I do apologize for that. I've really been bored with Modern Warfare 19. I just wanted to give it a break before I came back to Modern Warfare 2. If any of you have been watching the live streams, you know I've been super critical of Modern Warfare 2. I've been super critical of the game and not saying that it's what I expected and telling everybody that I was quitting, but I've decided that I'm actually going to be returning. But I'm going to be doing things a little bit different now. Things that kind of motivated me to get more excited about the game. So before we start that, we're going to talk about the beta. And I know it's a little late. You've probably watched other videos on people's beta thoughts, but I'm going to give it to you from a hardcore 2019 Modern Warfare fan and kind of what I saw. So right off the bat, it's definitely not Modern Warfare 2019. It's definitely not a sequel to Modern Warfare 2019, and a lot of people, including myself, thought that we were going to have similar movement with new guns, kind of new maps, and the same kind of map design. Right now, I'm super critical about the game, but we only got to see 3 maps, and I need to continually remind myself that we saw 3 tiny maps, and I think by design, the developers wanted as much action as possible to get as much testing in as possible. They didn't want to release any of the bigger maps because I can't see by any means that the maps are all that small. We all know footsteps need to get changed. They are actually interesting because of how surprisingly the sound travels so nicely that you can actually pinpoint where people are. So for things like Warzone 2.0 and DMZ, footsteps are actually in a good spot. The slower movement definitely threw off a lot of those hardcore 2019 fans. It feels more like Rainbow Six Siege with a crossbreed of COD, and it just means it's slower. And it's odd because everybody has been saying, oh, we want Black Ops, we want Black Ops 2, we want those back. But when they give us that slower movement, everybody starts to get upset, including myself. So I'm kind of a hypocrite in that. And I think that it'll be something that I'll get used to. I think it's probably about 50 or 60% of the speed that Modern Warfare 19 was, or even Vanguard. But I think we can all definitely adapt to it. It doesn't mean that change like this is bad. It's just unique, and it's so fast and how quickly the movement changed from one speed to another that it kind of puts people out of their comfort zone of what they've enjoyed in the past. So not a bad thing, but it's just overall the player base is going to have to tone it down and kind of understand that this is more of a tactical shooter. Modern Warfare actually wants to be a little bit slower, which honestly could be a good thing. It could prevent a bunch of like the TikTok movement, YY spamming 360 stuff that really nobody even enjoyed watching. So that's going to change. Right off the bat, the UI, and anyone complaining about the UI in the beta is about 6 months old compared to the actual display of what it is that we haven't seen. So I'm not worried at all about it. They all know. They knew they were going to get complaints for it, but they didn't care. As long as you were able to play test the beta and the games were good. The game crashes. It was kind of a stress test. They put every single player that wants to play in such a short amount of time. And what that does is that stresses the server so they know if they need more servers or what they need to fix. So don't think that the game's going to crash a million times when the game releases. Another piece of good news is they're already balancing weapons before the game releases. This is typically not seen, and we typically play the beta and then the game releases with no fixes at all. So I'm glad to see that they're at least balancing even the M4 and the MP5 and the Hurricane, some of the most used weapons. I hope they change the visibility on the weapons though and slow down the artificial recoil. It's a little bit out of hand for a Call of Duty game. I think that if it was more like a Rainbow Six Siege game, it would be more interesting, but right now I don't see that Call of Duty and the artificial recoil that they have is necessary. My new focus on content, like I said at the beginning of the video, is going to be more towards Warzone and DMZ. I did Search and Destroy for almost 3 years on the same exact game, and I think that it got old to a point where I was becoming spiteful of COD, even though it's been a home for me for so many years. In my future videos, I'm going to be still going back to Search and Destroy, but it's not going to be my main focus. I'm going to be focusing on Warzone 2.0 and DMZ, and the future videos that you're going to see are things like the best audio settings at the time as they change things, the best loadouts for Search and Destroy, the best spots to drop for Warzone, Warzone 2.0 guides and DMZ guides. You're also going to see the camo grind videos. I'm going to be live streaming all of that. but I'm also going to give you the fastest way to grind the camos, the fastest way to get mastery in each camo, just because that's always a favorite thing of mine. And also a unique storytelling process through Warzone and DMZ, putting a unique twist on my videos. Each video that I do for Warzone, when I make kind of like a movie a little bit, is going to be a little bit more cinematic with my thought process and kind of drawing on the map to show you guys where I'm thinking, where I'm moving, what I'm looking at, and kind of just making it more interesting rather than just watching a 19 or 20-minute Warzone video. I'm going to try and spice it up a little bit and make it kind of my own thing so that when you see my videos, you know that it's something unique compared to everybody else. Once again, my final thoughts on the beta. I loved and hated some of the gunplay, and I think that I just wasn't used to the game. I'm so used to run and gun, but now I have to slow it down. And if you go into Modern Warfare with that thought process, even if you go back to the previous COD titles, whether it's Modern Warfare 19, Cold War, or Vanguard, if you practice playing a little bit slower, I think that's the best way to prepare for Modern Warfare 2019. I think the gunsmith is also very interesting, and I'm excited to see where it is, and the only thing we're waiting on right now is what the mastery camo looks like and what the challenges are. And I really hope that they stayed kind of true to what Modern Warfare 2019's camo grind was. I think Cold War and Vanguard's was completely out of line, and I hope that the leveling is just as fast. Remember, just a final tip, I will be streaming all of the campaign, and make sure you beat the game on veteran, because they always give you the most double XP tokens when you beat it on veteran. That's all I have for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Changing mag. Friendly cluster mine deployed.
Let's get some kills here real quick.
Friendly SAE on the way.
How do you get up there? Stairwell? Am I missing something? Dude, that was my first game ever.
That's